What's going on, y'all? It's the Dirty Harry here to make a video about the NBA right now. I think not enough fans do videos about the NBA. Let me start by saying I'm not a sports analyst. I'm not an expert. I just love my Chicago Bulls, and I wish more people talked about them. Let me start by talking about the Scallenge, the Scalabrine challenge. If you guys haven't heard about it, Brian Scalabrine, the White Mamba, for those who watch basketball for a while. You know, everybody talks shit about him. So now he's playing athletes from Boston who want to talk shit and just flat out embarrassing them. I'm gonna put the link in the description box so y'all can watch it. It's hilarious. Like I was literally dying at some of the videos people sent in. You know, we've all heard someone we know say they would own Scalabrine on the court he doesn't deserve to be in, and then you just see him go and just destroy people. And it's funny, but at the same time, I'm not believing it. You know, he chooses these random guys. You know, I'm like, play a street baller, Scalabrine. I mean, really, play a street baller. You know, go get someone from the Rucker to play against you. You know, I think it'd be more entertaining, but it's funny though. Let me pick your next opponent, and I bet you won't just own them like that. All right. Next up, congratulations are in. All Star ballots came out, and congratulations to Luol Deng, who we already knew was gonna make it. No one guards LeBron or anyone else better in the NBA than Luol Deng. But also, congratulations to Joakim Noah for making the All Star team. Epic fail on the NBA fans in general for not picking Carlos Boozer. You know, Boozer's been playing better than Chris Bosh, but they won't give him an All Star nod because the All Star game is a popularity contest. If I had to predict which side would win, you know, it's obvious the West is gonna win. You know, just saying. I think half the Eastern Conference team wants to kill Kevin Garnett anyway, so I think that'll be funny to see how they actually play with him. You know, they say Garnett's the greatest teammate you can ever have. You know, if you talk to people who played with him, but he's a nightmare to play against. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the All Star game because you hardly see any defense. It's a fucking highlight reel game. You know, well, not all. I met some Miami Heat fans who know ball. Half of the Miami Heat fan base and half the Clippers fan base are gonna be the people watching that game. It's just a bunch of dunks and showing off, so I don't really watch it for the most part. It's a popularity contest. Kobe Bryant could have had his worst season. Like he could have 0 points per game to his average, and I bet you he would have got voted in. So that's why I don't really like it. It's a popularity contest. I'm more so looking forward to the Rising Stars Challenge, where Shaq and Charles Barkley picked their own teams using rookies and sophomores. You know, that game's always more interesting to me. I'm, it's a combo team, rookies and sophomores together. You know, it's the same as the All Star game with a lot more showing off, but the rookies and sophomores have a bit more hunger than a LeBron or someone who's already an established star. I'm just curious to see what the lineups are going to be for both sides. Next up, I want to give kudos to the referees in the United Center during that Golden State game. They called every single travel that happened on both sides. I just wish that they would referee for us every Miami game against Latravel James. It's always great to watch Chicago play against Western Conference teams because we play very good against the West, while most Eastern Conference teams just seem to be shell shocked, you know. But if you didn't see the game, Chicago dominated the Warriors the entire night. Like the defense, they had the Warriors in a headlock the whole game, which is great, you know, because the Bulls are able to play defense that good without Luol Deng. It's scary to think how bad that margin would have been if Luol Deng played. You know, Chicago just out hustled the Warriors. You know, it's just a bad night for him. Curry had a bad game, you know, which is sad that Curry's not going to be on the All Star team. But like I said, it's a popularity contest. I think Kirk Heinrich, I don't know, discovered how to time travel or had a flashback or some shit because I haven't seen Kirk Heinrich play that well since maybe the 04 05 season. He was just on tonight. And yeah, that's kind of Warriors kind of sealed their own fate by not covering him. Like he came out with the hot hand, and they still just sagged off of it. I'm like, come on, man. He's been shooting threes his whole career, you know. But he's more known for his defense. The United Center was a great crowd. Could be better. No crowd is gonna come close to the passion that we see from an OKC crowd, which is a big reason why my wife is a Thunder fan. That and she loves Kevin Durant. She's fucking in love with Kevin Durant. I'm worried about that motherfucker. Comments on the Chicago Bulls. Jimmy Butler coming off the bench to pull up the slack for Luol Deng's injury has been amazing, which is a big reason why I was so frustrated about Deng not taking time off to have surgery at the beginning of the season. I'm like, Jimmy Butler, he can do it, but I think most Bulls fans were skeptical. Is maybe there's a lot more to it than far beyond me, but Jimmy Butler is earning his money right now. He trying to get a raise right now. Jimmy Butler out there trying to sell jerseys. He is on Daquan Cook. We just got him. I haven't spoken too much about him. He was a 3-point shooter for the Thunder, I believe, and we picked him up. He's been making real good use of the few minutes he's been playing. He comes in, he knows his role, which is come in, knock down threes, a la a Steve Kerr back in the day. I hope we hold on to him and find more ways to use him, because when come playoff time, we're gonna need him. The big curious thing is with the return of D Rose getting closer and closer, it really leads me to wonder how our lineup's gonna be. Heinrich's gonna be coming off the bench, but what does that do to Bellinelli, Nate Robinson, Cook, and all the guards we have? Just something I'm just brainstorming about. Tom Thibbs will figure it out. He's the second best coach in the NBA right now, and the only reason I say second best is because I won't put anyone over Greg Popovich right now. Greg Popovich is just wow. But all right, well, this is my prediction of how the bench lineup's gonna be. Center, Taj Gibson. Power forward, Jimmy Butler. Small forward, Marco Bellinelli. Two guard, Nate Robinson. Point guard, Kirk Heinrich. And it'll likely rotate for when Thibs wants a bigger lineup, because we love to play with big guys in Chicago. So it could go for center Nazir Muhammad, Taj Gibson, power forward, small forward Jimmy Butler, Marco Bellinelli at two, and point guard Kirk Heinrich. You know, it's just the minutes rotation. It's going to be interesting to see how they split up the minutes amongst the guards. Um, and depending on the situation, I think Nate Robinson is the guy you want coming off the bench, because he comes off with so much damn energy. It's fucking ridiculous. But Heinrich's the better defender, so it's a toss up really. And also don't forget about Marquise T. He's a rookie, but still, Tom Thibbs doesn't really like to give rookies a lot of minutes for whatever reason. For their development, I guess. My personal dream lineup would be to just start Bellinelli. Just start Marco Bellinelli. Rip is a veteran player. He does all the little things. Regardless of whether he's starting or coming off the bench. He moves great without the ball and is a great compliment to Kirk Heinrich, who, Heinrich, his style of play with Rip Hamilton complements it perfectly, in my opinion. It's just Rip Hamilton staying healthy, really. I'm curious to see how we're going to use Vladimir Radmanovic, you know, if we use him. We barely use him. I wish I had that motherfucking job, just, you know, ride the bench, practice, make a lot of money. Or maybe they're just waiting for Rose to come back to use him more with isolation plays. Um, Let me start by saying the Western Conference team I'm the most impressed with, Memphis. Memphis. People need to wake the fuck up on the Grizzlies and the Spurs. All you hear people talk about is the Clippers and Thunder. Don't forget about the Grizzlies and Spurs. Do not. I would love to see the Grizzlies and Thunder in a playoff series again, because they went that one season, they were clawing and fighting each other. I would love to see that. You got Mark Gasol, who's playing like a man possessed right now. I've been saying for years that Mark was the better player of the two Gasol brothers, but this season doesn't really prove anything. It really doesn't. The Lakers are having a rough season isn't really the word to describe what they're having. Um, but the Grizzlies are playing great, playing real good ball. The below 500 team that I'm the most impressed with right now, the Pistons. I don't know what the hell happened, but something snapped within them, and they've just gotten a lot better. But they just tend to melt down in the fourth quarter. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's a Detroit thing. If it's not the Red Wings, every other team just seems to melt down at the end. I don't know why that is, but maybe it's not fair to grade them off that. For the before the Piston fans just start chucking rocks at me. I've only watched the last two games because I've always been a Cal Singler fan. He's a Duke boy. The last two teams they choked against have been the Bulls and the Heat. So it's kind of like they're melting down against the two best teams in the Eastern Conference. You know, so I don't think that maybe it's not fair to call them choke artists yet. Those are two of the toughest teams in the NBA. You know, but I don't want to pick the Wizards because their whole team just it shouldn't collapse because one guy goes down. You look at the Pacers; they've lost Danny Granger, and they're still winning games and above 500. My Bulls, who don't have the MVP Derrick Rose, are still above 500. So we lost John Wall should not be an excuse. You got a whole team of players who are getting paid big money to go out there and win. Um, my pick for the most overrated team so far, the Knicks. It's the regular season, people. Come playoff time, I guarantee you they will not be getting those wide open threes they're getting. When they're going against a Miami defense, a Chicago defense, or an Indiana defense, watch them melt down. Watch them melt down. Melo is one of the best players out there. J.R. Smith, great player. Tyson Chandler, great player. Raymond Felton came back good. Iman Shumpert is, he good, but you know, I'm not even gonna, peg them up there. When they go against the big defenses like Indiana, Chicago, or Miami, watch them just get in the corner and ball up because they ain't gonna know what the hell to do come playoff time. Um, my pick to win the MVP this season, Kevin Durant. I want Durant to win it so bad, but you already know who's probably gonna get it. I think that win-loss record that the Thunder have should really constitute to win MVP. Durant's doing all the little things. He's not choking against garbage teams like LeBron, you know. But that's my 2 cents on the NBA. Chicago doing great. Can't wait for the return of Rose. I will not be doing a reaction video because I'm gonna be on the ground crying like a little bitch when I see Rose on the court again, and I don't want y'all to see that. Um, San Antonio Spurs and NBA fans, you guys really did make me proud to be a fan when Tim Duncan got voted. A lot of people tend to jump on the Blake Griffin and the Dirk and all that because all everybody cares about nowadays are dunks and all that flashy shit. It's nice to see Tim Duncan get an All Star nod again, but it would have been even nicer to see Stephen Curry get one. Looking forward to seeing where the season goes. Chicago, we got Washington Wizards next. Think we're gonna clobber them. We'll see. All right, y'all. I'm out. That's all I got for NBA talk right now. I'm not gonna talk about everyone's team. I focus on my Bulls and only my Bulls. I try to stay within my conference, but I love watching good ball. Grizzlies. Watch the fuck out for the Grizzlies if you're in the West.